Hey, it's Scot Tempesta from Sailing Anarchy. You're here again with another one of our retro look videos. This happens to be our fifth one. We started off with an Erickson 35 Mark II. We did a J30, we did a Cal 40, and then we did the 10-meter Sally. Today, I got a treat for you. I mean, this boat defines the whole Bill Lee era, the whole dawning of the sleds, the lightweight 50-footers, the surf machines. So I want to just now show you what I'm talking about. Right here, we have the Santa Cruz 50 Hula Girl. Take a look at this thing. I mean, it's so classic in its own way. It's classic because it's 40 years old. These things were built in 1980. This is hull number 8 of 28 that they built in total. So not many of them. And because these boats have just this unbelievable record of success in specifically the Transpac, the race to Hawaii, these boats are, even though they're 40 years old, they're in demand. I mean, people love to have these boats, and they really do gear them up specifically to race to Hawaii. Sure, you can go to Cabo, and yes, you can race locally, but the mission for these boats is downwind, decent waves, good breeze, and Surf City. That's what this boat is all about. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Hula Girl. Not a stock Santa Cruz 50 by any means. The first thing is the thing I'm standing on. This is called the Sugar Scoop, and you can kind of see why. It's a stern extension. It's designed to increase the effective sailing length. Where you can see all of this platform that I'm on is not really in the water, but when the boat gets surfing and the waves start to kind of follow back, you actually extend the effective waterline length, to that amount. So therefore, longer waterline, has a higher hull speed, and it's really ideal for Transpac and surfing conditions. It's great that it stays out of the water for the most part, because you really don't want this dragging around in the water unless it's for its specific purpose, and that's hauling ass downwind. Here I am in a position that you'll never actually see me in other than this video. These are the grinders. They control the primary winches, and the reason that you need grinders on a boat like this is because when the boat surfs down a wave, the apparent wind goes so far forward, you got to bring that sheet in like a madman. So you grind, and you shift speeds. It's not fun, but everybody has to do it. A boat like this probably has 8 people going to Hawaii. Everybody takes their turns on the grinders, and they're really essential because if you don't have them and you grind the sheet in, it's not as fast. But when you can get the leverage and the gearing in here, and you can spin it like that, and sometimes with 2 people, just for extra speed, extra power. That's what they do on this boat. That's why it's here, and it's why you don't see a grinder on a normal boat in the size range, because they don't have the specific need for that this lightweight 16,000 pound 50-footer relatively narrow has when it's carving down waves. The boat's made for that. One thing they did on this boat is they put a nice big pedestal wheel back here. They didn't sink it down because you need to be able, especially a guy who's height challenged like I am, you need to be able to see the waves, right? You need to see the back of the wave that you're going to drop into. So, you can't be down here not seeing it. You're up here, you can sit, here if you need to. It's just basically for visibility. This boat does not have inline masthead configuration. No, they did something different when they put the new rig on the boat. They moved, and they did a beautiful job. They moved the chain plates aft. I'm not quite sure how they did that, to accommodate and match the swept-back spreaders. So they've got 3 sets of spreaders up there, and then it's also a 15th, 16th fractional. So the jib doesn't go all the way to the top, but the spinnakers do, and the mainsail does. And again, that's for a little bit more mass control in a breeze. And this boat is, I don't know if it's the only one, but it's a very rare example of a 3-foot taller hull spar with swept-back spreaders. Very efficient, super smart. Take a look at this. Now this boat, one of the things that sort of shows its age is how extraordinarily big the cabin top is. It's pretty high, it's really long. But for sailing and racing purposes, what's the one thing you don't see? A billion winches, a billion lines running aft. They kept the boat very simple. So one thing it has is it's got halyard winches right around here. They're not in the mast, but they're here, and that's okay because you can grind them up pretty nicely. The boat just screams simple. It screams not Spartan, it's just done right. All right, if you have not been down below a Santa Cruz 50, you're in for a treat. Come on down. All right, down below. The first thing you notice about this boat is how open and how there's just not a lot of stuff down here. Chart table here, nav station here, carbon fiber table, galley right here, all within sort of the same distance. Again, more carbon just to keep the boat light and look pretty trick. But this is where the boat gets a little weird. So I step forward here, you'll see this. It is a giant step up and kind of cuts headroom down, of course, but this is where a lot of the engine isn't here, interestingly enough, but batteries, other things, there might be tankage under here. This is really something you would not see in a boat of today. I mean, why do this and basically ruin what would be the main salon, because this boat doesn't have a main salon. This boat is race, right? 2 settee berths here, 2 upper settee berths. There are pipe berths back here, 2 to starboard, and there are 2 to port. This is the business end, just in terms of where sails are kept in normal storing positions, all the sheets, all the halyards that are not currently run. And the idea here is to keep the front of the boat uber light. I mean, this boat has to be light up here because it drops into waves. And with this shape, it's easy to get going. Like you'll pop up on a wave nicely. But if you have weight up here, it'll have a tendency to delay it raising up on the wave. Conversely, it also kind of helps it drop the bow down and push the boat in a little bit. You don't want that. You want that bow to pop up right away, and then you're able to carve the waves. So this boat was built as a race boat. It is a race boat. Sparse interior, obviously. Probably not gonna buy this for the wife. Maybe when she sees the head, you'll know why. That's what you have down below a Santa Cruz 50. So this was the Santa Cruz 50. Again, it's hull number 8 of 28. It's called Hula Girl. Once owned by Paul Kayard, and he raced to Hawaii on the boat, and he took his son and his daughter with him, and pretty good experience, obviously. Wouldn't we all like to be able to do that? And then the boat got sold, and then Wayne Zattel from J-World bought it. And this is a boat, like I said, you can crew on this boat. You gotta write a check, but what an experience. And if you go to J-World, I believe it's jworld.com, you can get some information there. Now, if you like this video, hit the like button. We'd love for you to subscribe. And if you want to see more of these retro videos that we've done, there's a playlist right up there. You can go ahead and click on that. Take a look. We love your comments, by the way. They're so great. So if you got something to say about this boat, everything about how we've presented it, happy to hear it. Both the pluses and, well, not the minuses, forget that part. But I hope you enjoy this particular video. I know I do. And have you met my new girlfriend? She smells good. Well, actually, she smells like varnish. Not that good.